Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you may remember last year and the year before, I was doing little bits and pieces of work on a white Vauxhall Corsa B from 1994 that had a pair of blue doors on it. Well, the car still does exist, but the owner of that finally decided it was time for an upgrade. And when I say an upgrade, oh my god, what an upgrade! From a 1.4 fuel-injected automatic Corsa B from 1994 to this, a 2001 Proton Satria 1.5 LUX automatic. Yes, it's an automatic. It needs to be an automatic because the owner, at the minute, can only drive automatics, although our licence does allow her to drive manual cars. At the moment, she can only drive automatics because she has a bit of a bad back and trouble with her hips and moving gear sticks around and all that. But look at this. I was just noticing when we went to pick it up, from that view there, does that look somewhat reminiscent of an old Citroen Saxo? Absolutely amazing. What a wonderful car it is. As you can see, the condition of this is amazing. Lovely alloy wheels, set of 4. Does have a spare wheel, a full-size spare wheel, but the full-size spare wheel is just a steel wheel. But it's a lovely looking car. And for being a 1.5, it's quite nippy as well. It's great fun to drive, it really is. So let's jump in and have a look round while the owner's not here. Right then, so inside this 2001 Proton Satria, we have all the gizmos. There's a digital clock there, obviously heating and ventilation controls, aftermarket stereo, nice little cubby hole underneath there, and then in the bottom of that, obviously you've got the cigarette lighter and the ashtray, and then the automatic gear shift. The dashboard though, it's really weird looking at this. What a weird thing. Now over here we've got the indicators as to what gear you're in. The rev counter, although it's sitting at 0 at the minute, once you start the car, the rev counter does jump up to 4,000 revs, but it just jumps up to 4,000 revs. It doesn't actually do 4,000 revs, so the rev counter, I think, may well be broken or needs some work in it. Needs some work on it. 49,749 miles on this wonderful car, airbag equipped, and the seats. Oh, now there is a child seat in here because there is a 7-year-old granddaughter that gets ferried around in this. Hence that seat cover that's also on the seat behind the safety seat. But we have the wonderful seat covers. These are in absolutely amazing condition. If we have a look at the back ones, they're also amazing. Now, when I went to have a look at this, before we'd gone to have a look at this, ironically, I'd watched a video on YouTube from another content creator by the name of John Coupland, who had also recently just acquired one of these. There does seem to be a bit of an issue with the ashtray, in that it doesn't want to stay in there. Every time you drive, that pops out. Carpets are lovely and clean. Now, this car hasn't been cleaned at the moment. It's just as it was purchased after being viewed. That leaves a little bit to be desired. So we can get the bonnet open and have a look at that. And this is the 1.5 injected Magma 16 valve engine. Looks a bit scruffy under here. Now there might be a good reason for it looking as scruffy as it does under here, because before the current owner acquired the car, it had been off the road for approximately 12 years, 12, 13 years, something like that. And we do have a missing tow hitch cover. And obviously, not being a GTI, there's no fog lights in there. I'm assuming this is the GTI bumper that's being fitted to it. Now, all the paintwork matches, and it's got those lovely wheel arch extensions on it. So if you know, leave a message in the comments. Is this what the Proton Satria 1.5 LUX was meant to look like, or has this had the bumper extensions, side skirts fitted from a GTI? Because it does look what I would imagine would be GTI-ish, even though it's not. It is a sport. I think it has sport written on the side somewhere. No, it might be on the back. What a lovely looking car, it really is. Yeah, so it's a sport there. So it's the Proton Satria 1.5i LUX Sport. Twin fog lights, twin reflectors, all the lights work, everything works on it, the wipers work. It's an amazing looking car. Let's just have a quick look in the boot. How clean it is in here. It's lovely in here. Don't think that light's working. Might just need a bulb. But if we look around underneath, and we'll lift that up, there is a full-size spare, but as I said earlier, it's a steel wheel. No rust to speak of, that's all surface rust. It does just dust off. Wonderful inside there. Now it is suffering from the normal rust around the rear window. At the moment it is just starting to blister up, a little bit flaky there. No real damage, but from what we can tell, that appears to be the only rust on the car. No dents to speak of. Not quite sure what this is, what's happened with this. I think that's just a rubbing strip, maybe where some of the factory paint's come off due to the age of the car. I mean, that can be scuffed up and painted with some satin black, or maybe just some acetone or something would take that off. All in all, lovely car. And I do have to say, it is a very pleasant place to be sat in. It's nice and quiet, there's no wind noise from outside, there's no wind noise when it's getting driven. It's a lovely looking thing, and it goes really well and all. Now there's no issues with it at the moment. We have had one issue so far. On the way home, the engine management light came on. We did check that on a code checker, and it appeared to be the oxygen sensor, so it does need an oxygen sensor for to turn that engine light off permanently. But at the minute, it's the engine light's coming on and off every now and then. But the garage that checked it, because I don't have an OBD reader at all, because none of my cars are new enough to have an OBD reader, possibly with the exception of the Mondeo, but that doesn't seem to need anything. So we did nip into a local garage, get them to check out the engine light, and it was just the oxygen sensor, so nothing major to worry about there. Now, there has been a little bit of work done on it this morning, which I couldn't film because I had a load of people around the house at the time, in as much as the back brake lights. Somebody, for some reason, had put a single filament bulb in, so it meant that although the tail light was working, but it was as bright as a brake light, the brake light on that side actually wasn't working. So took that bulb out, changed that bulb round, and that's sorted all the problems out. There was also a reversing light missing, so now it has two working reversing lights. Fog lights work, reversing lights work, tail lights, brake lights, headlights, everything works on the car. Absolutely fantastic. Do have a little bit of history on it as well. It looks like it has been reasonably well cared for in the past, but then all of a sudden it was off the road for about 12 or 13 years, as I said earlier. The current owner, or the previous owner to the current owner now, when he bought it, he bought it to do something called I think it was the Tracker Rally. I think he said it was the Tracker Rally. And he bought it with the idea of gutting it and turning it into some kind of rally car lookalike and doing the Tracker Rally with that. And then when he got his hands on it and took it in and got it MOT, it sailed through its MOT. On the MOT history, there's literally nothing on the last MOT in January of this year, so January 25, when it went through its MOT. And then he had a change of heart and decided the car was probably too good to start destroying and cutting up, making into a rally car. So he put it up for sale, which is where I found it, let the current owner know about it, and we went to have a look at it, took it out for a drive. What a cracking little car it is. Absolutely wonderful. So other than a service, and we're going to get into maybe having the timing belt changed, or the owner is going to say about the garage changing the timing belt on it, because we don't know how long that timing belt's been on there. There is a rumour from the person that we bought it off that the timing belt was changed, but he said he had no proof of that. He had just been told the timing belt had been changed. So don't know what kind of engine this is. Maybe you know whether this is an interference or a non-interference engine. But just to err on the side of safety, going to have the belt changed anyway and a full service done. Other than that, though, absolutely amazing. The only thing I haven't been able to find so far, because I had a quick look over it this morning, check the oil levels and things like that. With it being an automatic, I would have thought, well, there should be, I would have thought, an automatic transmission fluid dipstick, so you can check the level in the gearbox. There isn't one. So I'm wondering, is this one of those sealed for life gearboxes where you don't do anything and there's just like a filler plug at the side that you take out and see if the fluid drips out, and if it does, there's enough in there? Or is it that you just can't check it at all in this particular gearbox? I have no idea what kind of gearbox it is, apart from it being automatic. I don't know if there's a specific thing, like, you know, a Borg-1 or a ZF or something like that. And of course, being a two-door, it does have electric windows up and down, central locking. I mean, there's just everything in here that you could possibly want. Heated window, heated rear window rather, I should say. But yeah, acres of space in here. Well, there you have it then. One Proton Satria from 2001, upgrade from the Vauxhall Corsa as it leaves. Now it is truly a wonderful car, and that's the owner on our way back home with our granddaughter to make use of the rest of our Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, I can head home. Oh, hang on. Right. I suppose I'll start walking home then, because I've got a lift down to do the video. At least it's not raining, I suppose. See you in the next one. Bye for now. Honestly, next time bring two cars. Works so much easier with two cars next time.